Did you see the video of the lady from Philly? I think it's Philly or the outskirts of Philly. It was like a road rage incident where she tries to turn left and the lady won't turn left in a timely fashion. So when they finally turn left at the the blinking left arrow, she zooms around her, stops her, jumps out of her car, and like spray shits on.
She has explosive diarrhea. I did see that,
but on command though.
That's
who
wild.
who just drops a deuce on command, dude. If I had like a genie and I had 3 wishes, one of them would be to be able to drop a deuce. That's crazy. God. But how long had to be stirring?
Seriously.
That poop had to be stirring for a while. Because she just walked up. It was almost so fast you didn't even realize she did anything.
Yeah.
Until you look at the hood of the car.
I did. I had to change. But it's like, who, the person filming it must have been like, oh, damn.
It's like, did I just see what I think I just saw?
Wasn't she like laughing too?
Yeah. Oh, no. She had some stuff going on.
Yeah.
She has some mental health issues going on. That's crazy. Yo, when you think that Philly can't get any crazier, they double down. It's like, who does that? Like, how mad are you that like you just jumped yelling, smacking someone, punching someone, pushing someone, or damaging someone's car and went right to taking a shit on somebody's car? You just went past 10 things you could have done.
Yeah. That's
not as bad. But like she was like, you know what?
Oh my God.
I'm gonna take a shit on that car. Who like the mental like thought process? It's like, what I'm gonna do. And you're walking up and you're like pushing it out as you're walking up.
Yeah. My God.
It's nuts, dude. It's bananas. This world is going,
dude, 100%.
Hell in a handbasket.
100%.
Oh man. Welcome to another edition of the Alpha Geek Podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Antoine Brett.
And I'm Taras Denisenko.
As the Super Jack Taras Denisenko. The dude's like, every time I see him almost every week. And every time I see him, I feel like he puts on like 5 pounds.
Yeah. It's all
of muscle.
Of muscle,
not like
from beer.
Cinnamon buns and shit. But you are a beer guy though.
I am a beer guy, yeah. I'm an IPA guy, probably the worst of all beers.
Yeah,
it's like high in calories. But
now, from a calorie standpoint, are stouts or IPAs heavier?
That I don't know. I don't like stouts. I just
stouts are it's just basically out of a spooning it out of the glass.
Yeah.
I can nurse them. I can nurse just about anything.
Yeah.
But in an ideal world, I would. Is it Goes? Goze's? How's it pronounced? Goes? GOSC? Like the sours.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about those.
That's what I would go to. If I had a choice in beer, something sour. Like the IPAs are just too bitter for me. With the exception of Hazy Like a Fox.
Okay.
I do like I can play I fucks with those. So
my IPA of choice is actually O'Connor's El Guapo.
Oh, the El Guapo, El Guapo's good. That's OG. Yeah. That's been around for a while now. And it does really well. It sells really well in the stores.
I feel like I keep Miller's Market. I expect them to have that 6-pack always fully stocked because I stop by almost like twice a week to pick it up. So
you talk about that Mills on the corner of Blindhaven and you don't go that way.
No, it's on the corner of it's actually on London Bridge. So as soon as you're going down Dan Neck, take a right on London Bridge, head towards Hunt Club Farm.
There's That place has been there forever, right? What's that neighborhood right next to? I don't know the area.
Castleton is right in
Castleton,
there.
That's right.
But it's funny. There's a sandwich shop there called PMS. It's so funny.
What's the acronym for?
I don't know. But every time I drive by, it just says PMS. I'm like, and it is owned by females. So it's it's a catchy name. They got good sandwiches from what I understand.
Really?
Yeah. We haven't ever eaten there yet, but I mean to.
Go try
But it's such a weird strip. It's like, there's like a dance studio in there. There's that sandwich shop.
It is a weird strip.
Yeah.
Because it's that place or that shopping center in a neighborhood and then a whole bunch of nothingness till you get to Hunt Club.
Right.
And like some so. But they are developing. They're putting houses on top of houses over there.
Crazy.
It won't even look like that. But that's all the way up London Bridge and Dam Neck.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're throwing stuff up. So whatever.
Yeah.
A lot of news, a lot of big news, a lot of entertainment news.
A lot of entertainment news.
A lot of entertainment news that intersects with political news. there's a lot going on. First and foremost, we talked about it a couple seconds ago. Finally saw, well, not finally because of opening weekend, but saw Thunderbolts.
Yep.
The long-awaited MCU, the successor to, as far from a popularity standpoint of Deadpool Wolverine. Like, we kind of thought Deadpool Wolverine was the thing that was going to reset the MCU. And while it was a okay movie, no one expected Captain America 4 to be the thing that piggybacked off of it and continued that kind of upward trajectory, right?
Yeah.
Everyone, the hope was that the Thunderbolts would do that.
Yeah.
And I think it might have delivered. It was, if I had to give it a rating, I would give it a 6.5 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
It seems like that the cast is saying that we're the new Marvels, and this is going to be
the new Avengers. Yeah,
new Avengers.
The new Avengers thing, and they launched that right after opening week or during opening weekend. They launched that news. Like, they changed billboards and everything, so all the billboards around the country that said Thunderbolts now says the new Avengers. Yeah, and they did it like quick, fast. I don't know from a marketing standpoint. I don't know if that was the smartest thing. Maybe give it a week and let some more people see it. But
before we get in too far into the movie, because I definitely want to hear about it. I have not yet seen it, but I have seen Jeremy Renner talking about that Marvel and Disney is kind of screwing him over because they offered only half the amount of salary to come back, and he's just like, why? Because I got run over. So I was like,
now was he saying that in a joking way, like you think I'm half a guy because I got ran over type thing? Yeah. So I don't know if that's joking or do they devalue him more because that character might be getting a little stale?
Yeah. I mean, face it, the character is not all that. I didn't think it was all that impactful in the movies.
No.
But he's been on several, because he's just writing a book too. So he's on a book tour, and I think he just keeps talking about that. So from interview to interview to interview, it seems like one interview he was kind of joking, and the other interview he's like kind of mad about it. So who knows what the truth is? But
what's your take on Jeremy Renner as like that Hawkeye character? Do you? Because some people view him and not just him, but him coupled with Black Widow as kind of the heart of the Avengers, because they were the only two that didn't have like these extraordinary abilities or access to money and tech to, create this thing. Do you think that he is less desirable now that Scarlett Johansson's character is kind of out of the equation now?
Ooh, that's a good point.
Yeah, because when we saw that character, like when we saw him in the first Thor, was that the first Thor movie? Yeah, the first Thor movie. That was really the only solo performance where he wasn't connected with Scarlet Witch, with the exception of the show.
Yeah.
With the Hawkeye TV show. So I think just symbiotically, the audience put them two together, like they came as like a package deal.
Yeah.
And now that you don't have that package deal, does Jeremy Renner kind of, or the Hawkeye character kind of like fall on back burner?
Yeah, that's where I'm in agreement with you on that one. I just don't think that from my experience with the movies, I just never felt like he ever mattered too much.
Yeah.
I like the guy. I like him as an actor, but they just didn't really do much with his character.
Well, they touched on it. Like even in Age of Ultron, he's like, I'm a guy with a bow and arrow. Like we just got to do this. So I think they understood that he from a hierarchy of importance in the group, he was probably not at the top. But when you play with the camaraderie aspect of it, you have to look at the point of view from the other characters, right? They view him as an equal, and so Scarlett Johansson and Jeremy Renner, then you got to pay them the quote. You don't offer that, and that's bullshit too. You offer that man less money, and he's been playing this character for 10 years.
Yeah,
right. That's kind of bullshit.
Yeah,
but Feige has gone on record to say that they're not dropping the amount of money on these projects that they were when they started pushing out Disney Plus content. It was just like, let's go get it. Let's spend the money. Let's make the show as good as possible. And they got terrible, like the audience response was terrible.
Yep.
So now maybe they're kind of like throttling back on the amount of money and resources they're spending on these projects.
I mean, wouldn't you agree that though these budgets for these movies are way over bloated?
Oh yeah, 100%.
I mean, they're completely like now. In latest news, as I was recording this, Trump is threatening tariffs on all movies that are not filmed in the United States. So I feel like that's going to put a halt on Doctor Doom.
Sure.
The film productions, if they're moving from country to country to do these crazy spy movies and these action movies. So I mean, it's an interesting world now.
Yeah.
But
so because we spent $183 million on Captain America 4.
Mm-hmm.
Just imagine how much we're spending on Avengers Doom.
Yeah. It's going to be a lot. So I haven't heard anything if they've paused production on it at all. Like it seems like people are speculating that they're gonna pause on it, and so.
Well, this is just a threat.
It's a
These
threat,
tariffs haven't went into effect yet.
No, but for whatever it is. I mean, it sounds like a good idea. Let's bring back the golden era of Hollywood back to the United States, because like most foreign films don't make it big on a global
Sure.
Global standard, whereas most American movies do.
Yeah.
So
why is England? Because it is being shot in England, correct? Why is England the place where they want to shoot these films, or this film in particular?
They also offer huge tax benefits, and so I think they offer a 25% tax benefit to these production studios. So it just costs, so then they can make more money.
Yeah, that'll offset the tariff.
Well, and then they're saying like they're gonna how do you balance the threat of tariffs? Do you hire cheaper labor? Do you hire cheaper so where do you cut those costs? But I don't know. This all just came out like 2 days ago. So people are just freaking out.
Yeah, well, I mean, the studios have created a standard to where you have to, especially studios like Disney, Sony, created a standard to where you have to drop this amount of money into these movies.
Yeah.
Like that is like a CG driven movie. You're not getting out of the box for anything less than $150,000 million.
Yeah.
So it's like, now that you've created this monster, now you can try to like put it back in the box.
Yeah.
Like it's. And we do have some successful movies that have low budget. I mean, what was that movie, Thanksgiving?
I don't remember.
Yeah, Thanksgiving movie. It was kind of a culty, classic, but it was entertaining enough, and they spent I think $12 on this movie. But it was good. It was entertaining. It was So
it's the tough thing for me now with movies, and my schedule has gotten crazy. One of the newest projects, and I'll just do a selfish plug, is if you're a fan of ballroom dancing and you want to see a cool live stream, we did a first time ever live stream the Arthur Murray Professional Show Dance Championships, and we were in Portland, Oregon when we did that. So go visit Life is a Dance on YouTube, and you can check that out. And I'm sharing this because the schedule has gotten crazy. So the only opportunity I get to watch movies now is in an airplane.
Yeah. You're
and
busy,
so,
dude.
the latest movie I just saw was John Wick, the latest John Wick, which I didn't realize how long it was.
Oh, yeah.
It's freaking 3 hours or something like that. So I couldn't even watch it in one flight. On the shows and the movies, I'm a bit.
Yeah, you're a little behind.
A little behind.
Yeah,
but,
it's okay.
But I would love to jump back in and talk about Thunderbolts, because I'm so curious. And are you going to do a spoiler review?
I'm going to do a spoiler review. We're at the 2-week mark.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you haven't seen it yet, you're probably not that interested in like seeing it to the extent where you're going to care about the spoiler. So, So Sentry is kind of the protagonist and antagonist in this film. And let's just be real. This is every time I try to think of, when I'm on air, Florence Pugh. This is a Florence Pugh movie, 100%.
Okay.
And now the supporting cast with Brian Stan and the rest of the supporting cast, Arbor, David Arbor.
I'm gonna pull up right now.
And everyone does a great job. But
David Arbor. Yep.
Yeah, this is a Florence Pugh movie. She is so really quick. How we've been having the whole like DEI and everybody kind of up in arms about how these production studios and how they're they're changing and adding more of a female presence, more of a more minority presence into these films, and the fandom getting up in arms about it. All of a sudden, you have a successful movie with a female lead, and nobody even noticed it.
Wow.
You know, because it was such a good movie, and she is essentially Black Widow now. She is the new Black Widow, right? And I think it was done in a way with the Black Widow spinoff film, where it's, you know, introducing her with Scarlett Johansson and kind of having her kind of pass the reins.
Yeah.
Without people really realizing that she was passing the reins, because we didn't know Thunderbolts was coming. We didn't know we didn't know that she was going to be in Hawkeye. You know, the Florence character, Elena, was going to be in that show. And so now we've built a new Avengers team with Elena basically the head of the team now. Okay. Even if you don't say that she is the leader of the team, from an emotional standpoint, she really is.
Right.
So now it's like, oh, it's okay. It's okay. We can have a female lead. We can have strong minority characters, and it be okay.
Yeah.
You know, as far as the quality of the film, I think the way she was introduced, what she's going through from a mental health standpoint, was awesome. Like they talk about doing like heroin in a movie. They talk about I think they drop an F-bomb in a movie.
Okay.
You know, so
what's the rating on it? PG-13.
It's PG-13. Okay. So, you know, I think you're allowed 1 or 2 F-bombs in a PG-13 movie. But, you know, I feel like it checked all the boxes. I feel like it was a good setup, and the post-credit scenes, money.
Okay.
Make sure you stay for both of them. It checked the boxes, and while I didn't think it wowed me, I think the third act was kind of weak.
Okay.
But for the entirety of the film, I gotta give it maybe 6.5, maybe 7 out of 10.
Yeah. I heard Lewis Pullman's performance was amazing as Sentry.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was great. You know, and because that Sentry character is relatively new.
Yeah.
And I think the way that he kind of played back and forth with the strength of Sentry versus the mental health, like what do we have to go through, you know, in general as a person, especially if you suffer from mental health, but then put on top of that, you're the most powerful being in the world, you know? Like, so how do you manage that?
Yeah.
You know, and how do you start to figure out how to manage it? Like there's a part in the movie where he has kind of embraced that he's Sentry now, and he's doing everything that, you know, his handlers need him to do or want him to do. And then he sits back and thinks about it. He's like, I'm a god. Why am I listening to you?
Yeah.
But, you know, it took him, he kind of had to go around his ass to get to his elbow to get to that fact, because he did deal with mental health. He did deal with insecurity. And so it's going to take you a little bit longer. If you don't have that confidence, it's going to take you a little bit longer to get to a point where you can say, all right, I am good enough. I am this person. I am this thing. So I think they just did a really good job with, you know, touching on the mental health aspect, and then having an ally with Yelena that was dealing with her own kind of mental health struggle. So
yeah. So you mentioned that like people get up in arms about a female lead. I don't recall ever there being a problem with anybody talking about a female lead other than if the film was trash. And so I feel like even going back, if we go back to Star Wars, like Princess Leia, like she was the female lead.
Was she the lead though?
I mean, the story was based around her. I mean, Mark Hamill was the lead, Luke Skywalker, but Princess Leia was like the female lead in the entire franchise, or those 3 films, for me at least. Yeah. And like, I don't know. I always wonder about when people say that, like when you mentioned like The Acolyte, like people trashed on that because it was trash. It was just bad. It was just bad. And I don't think anybody's defending that whole series anymore. So But if it's a good film, like Ballerina, like is Ballerina out?
Yeah, no, it's not out yet. But now that you speak of that, they did just release a little bit of fight choreography between her and Keanu Reeves. And that's another thing is like, we know that Ana de Armas is going to be the female lead. And a little bit of fan service, Keanu is going to be in the film.
Sure.
Right? Cool. But do we think that that movie could have stood on its own without Keanu in it and been almost as successful?
Yeah,
I don't think so.
So I remember when they released, God, I got to pull these up because I don't remember it. It was an MTV animated show, and then they made it into live action.
Oh, with Charlize Theron, Aeon Flux.
Aeon Flux.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. And she was.
You thought that movie was great?
I did.
That movie wasn't bad because of the female lead.
I mean, Aeon Flux is like, it was a weird kind of campy cartoon. I felt like the movie did service. Now, I'm sure people will argue with it, but I had no problem with her playing that lead. Also, Furiosa, I thought that was good. So I just like, every time I think about, like, I don't know. Like,
I don't know. I think if we look at the numbers of these films, and you can put it in category large budget films compared to small budget films,
sure.
And
Yeah.
female leads coupled with female and male leads,
right?
How the discrepancy with the numbers, how they do. And a lot of it, there's a lot of moving parts. There's marketing and promotion.
Yeah.
There's, the popularity of the actors at the time, how long it takes the movie come out. Like, you can have an actress at a height of her popularity, but then by the time the movie comes out, she's dropped for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of moving parts.
And I think when it comes to ticket sales, if you're talking about revenue, I think on a global market, like I think the world is going to be more probably wanting to see like a James Bond or like a male lead versus a female just because of the cultural things. But I just feel like in the United States, I don't know. Like, I only speak from my own perspective.
Sure.
And so,
like, we love the content, so we don't care.
Right.
But there's a large amount of people who, what's that woman still doing on TV? Like there is that group of people are still out there.
Sure. Yeah.
So, I mean, and it's a little bit different world. Like when we talk about late 70s, early 80s, when it was like kind of the height of the new women's empowerment movement, we had, all these great female leads that were leading these movies that people just loved and kind of gravitated to, because the female audience and the female fandom was growing at the time as well. Well, now in the DEI age, it's not cool to go against the grain. For this is not everybody. This is just a large part of the fandom. So I do think there is a difference.
Sure.
And the difference does come out on when we talk about the grossing revenue of these films. So.
Yeah.
That's just me.
Yeah. Well, and that's why we do that.
That's just me. But then you talk about a movie like Sinners, for example, who Haley Steinfeld and Michael B. Jordan. I mean, holy shit, that movie got 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Whoa.
It is still performing almost as well as it did week 1 coming up on week 4.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crushing it. When you talk about Michael B. Jordan and like that Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan combination, I feel like it reflects the Sean Levy and Ryan Reynolds effect.
Okay.
When you put those two people do a project together, they just found the medicine. They cracked the code and they put a great film out, and they've done it over and over and over again. This is like the third or fourth film they've done together.
That's wild. 97%. There it is.
It's down to 97. Opening week, it was at 100% Rotten Tomatoes, and still is at 97 a month in. And so you have people. So I'm going to be interested what Thunderbolts does this weekend, because Marvel has been notorious with having large second week drops. So I think Ant-Man and the Wasp dropped by 68% from week 1 to week 2. Captain America Winter Soldier dropped heavily from week 1 to week 2. I would love to see what Thunderbolts does this week, because that's going to be a telltale sign of the actual success of the movie versus the the expectation, the fanfare going into the opening of the movie. So,
yeah.
Because they did something like 77 million opening weekend.
Thunderbolts?
Domestically. So, and I think something around 100, 103 worldwide. So it's pretty good numbers.
Yeah, those are good numbers. Wow, that's cool. Yeah, Sinners, I didn't even hear about that yet.
Yeah, dude.
So I gotta check that out.
I might go. Actually, I might go see it tonight. Yeah, they. It's.
Yeah, cool.
I'm happy that we have a movie that's doing that well. That's not like a Marvel thing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Do you have Marvel fatigue?
I don't know because I want the next thing. I wish this movie was the Fantastic Four movie. Mm-hmm. And I know from a timeline standpoint, and the way you put these movies out, you have a particular line that these things are gonna go. But I would have liked to see Fantastic Four before I saw Thunderbolts because I feel like Deadpool and Wolverine was the movie that kind of reset everything from a Fox Marvel thing. And I think jumping right in and doing that change of because it's a change of era movie. It's like I think it's based in 1960. Mm-hmm. I think having that right after that movie would have been cool to lead us back up to the point that we're gonna get to with Avengers Doom.
Yeah.
So
if we get Avengers Doom.
Yeah, dude, don't jinx us.
I know.
Don't jinx us. Wouldn't it be crazy if, like, because they're shooting now? There's actually I don't know if this is real. Let us know if this is a real film, real photo. But there is evidently a leak set photo with Robert Downey Jr. in the Doom outfit costume with Scarlet Witch on set. Together,
I did hear that she was going to make a return. I don't know. Have you seen the memes of the Supermans when there's like I don't remember it was Henry Cavill when he's like taking off and he's like screaming and he's like and then there's the one of
Christopher
Reeve, yeah, and when he gets mad and he reverses the globe, and then the new one he's just like he hits the ground, he's like he's crying. People are just like oh my god. I
have seen that one. Dude, they're just the fans are crazy, dude. They just shit on these movies, and they just pick up the trailers. They pick apart the trailers so much, and you got to understand that these aren't like what we're seeing in the trailer. Might not even be in the movie. Yeah. Like they're pumping the movie. So calm down, man. Just wait till the project comes out. Yeah. Just watch it there for its own merit. I'm getting to the point now where I don't want to see any like reviews. I don't want to see any leaks set, anything. I just if I see it and it's on my feed, I just hurry up and scroll past. I don't even want to see it.
And people are destroying The Last of Us too. Like
people shitting on that movie. Yeah. Well, they don't like the female character. I feel like that's the majority of the outrage that I'm hearing is the fact that they don't like her, the character.
Yeah. So. Well, I mean, spoiler alert, they killed off Pedro Pascal.
Yeah. That was like the second episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think like if there's the, at least for us, we kind of lost interest because he was kind of the character that kept us going.
Sure.
And I don't know.
I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah. Oh, you haven't?
I haven't watched the second season yet.
Okay.
So part of me wants to, wait till the entire season comes out before I start watching it and just kind of binge it or close to. We just finished Righteous Gemstones, the newest season of Righteous Gemstones.
I don't know that one.
Dude, Danny McBride, John Goodman, Walter Goggins.
What?
This is a parody on organized religion, and Danny McBride, John Goodman, they play, and that whole family play the Gemstones, which is like a very affluent church.
Yeah.
Like, dude, the show is
This looks like it's going to be funny.
It is hilarious. And Walter Goggins plays a character named Uncle Baby Billy. He's like the uncle of all the kids. Uh-huh. Dude, he is the funniest. This character is the funniest person on TV today. Oh my God. He is hilarious, dude.
I'm just like shooting through the cast here. And like you just said, Danny McBride, Eddie Pedersen. I don't know who she is. But John Goodman, Walter Goggins, like you said. Oh my God, this looks. Oh,
he uses a lot of the same like that. It was Annie Petterman. She was in Principals or Vice Principals with him. She was in, I believe she was in Eastbound and Down with him. So he used, Walter Goggins was in Vice Principals too. So he uses like the same kind of almost like Adam Sandler, use the same group of people.
Yeah.
Good on-screen chemistry.
Wait, I'm going to try this new feature. What we got here? Okay, we're going to do this. Then we're going to hit this. Okay, there we go. Check that out. So there's the cast.
Hilarious. It's so good. You got to watch it.
Yeah.
And start from the jump and just watch it, man. This is the funniest show.
Wow. And it's in the second season? Wait.
4 seasons. Fourth and final season.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They just
Where is it?
Where
do we find
it?
It's
on HBO Max.
HBO Max. Okay, cool. Good.
So it's weird because it came out at a time where organized religion was under a lot of scrutiny. And I feel like they hit like all the stuff that was happening with like Joel Osteen and everything like that. This came out right around that time. And it was very refreshing because it was a legitimate pair. Like they pulled no punches.
Yeah.
And so Danny McBride's family plays this super wealthy, like they have this huge plot of land and everyone has a mansion right next to their, like this brother lives here, this brother lives here, this sister lives here, the dad lives here, all on the same and it's really good. You got to watch it.
Yeah.
Got to see it.
Mega churches are interesting.
Oh yeah.
That's a whole.
I think organized religion in itself is interesting.
Yeah.
Which is,
I will,
it's weird. It's weird.
Yeah.
And I grew up in church.
Yeah.
So.
I got to fix. Oh man. So if you're watching this on YouTube, I messed something up.
Apologizing.
Having technical problems right now.
So how do you feel about mega churches and how? So for example, like any business, right? Mm-hmm. If you go and create a successful business, you should be able, and I believe this, you should be able to reap the benefits and rewards of that business, right? A megachurch is a successful business.
Sure.
But by social standards, the pastor of the church should be a reflection of the congregation.
Yeah.
So this is a middle-class congregation. The pastor should be living a middle-class life. The pastor shouldn't be rocking Rolexes and pulling up to service in a yellow Ferrari 360 like Joel Osteen did.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I have. You can play kind of, no pun intended, play devil's advocate with some of these facts, you know, because if you have, a congregation where you have 600 people showing up every Sunday and tithes are 10% of gross income, and you're in a middle class area, then you're living pretty nice. Even if you, I don't know what kind of split a pastor is supposed to take on that, what kind of percentage you're supposed to get. But I was in one church service and the pastor was super transparent. He's like, hey, I make about as much as a high school principal does in this area. Okay. High school principal makes it somewhere between 100, 110 grand a year, right? Okay, something like that. Pretty modest. Yeah. And this was a large church. I'm not going to put the church name out there, but this was a very large church. Actually, it was New Life. I'll put a name out there because I do appreciate them being transparent.
They're on General Booth, right? New Life?
They have, I want to say they have 3 campuses.
Oh, they do. Okay.
Yeah. So I do think it's interesting. So when we see these very popular evangelists going on TV and they got $1,000 suits on, they were wearing $10,000 Rolexes, they're driving a Rolls Royce or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Then do you think, okay, wow, he must be a really good pastor? Yeah. Or do you think he's taking advantage of the fact that he is in this position where he has all these people?
Yeah. So when it comes to Joel Osteen, I do know, because I do listen to him. I have it on XM, and I always enjoy his messages. I enjoy his delivery. I get that, he's super wealthy, but I don't think Joel Osteen acquired that. That was something his father created, and his father created the church, and his son Joel took over. So I don't know. I wouldn't be so mad about Joel because it's like I think their outreach programs are pretty big and they do a lot on a global scale. And their missionary work is, I think, pretty impactful. And it is because of him that draws all the attention. And they have the former former basketball stadium in Houston.
Yeah.
That's their church. Like,
yeah,
that's, I mean, that in itself is like,
it's a flex.
What the heck? So I don't know.
He's very disliked in Houston.
Is he?
Yeah. I just came back from Houston and they hate Joel Osteen in Houston.
Wow. Why do they?
I think it's one of those things. He's not viewed as somebody who is truly giving back to the community there in comparison to other large businessmen.
I will say I have a friend that's he's a very devout Christian, and we were talking about pastors and people who give messages, and he's like, I was like, yeah, you ever listen to Joel Osteen? And he was like super offended. He's like, he's not Christian. He's spreading just false hopes, and he's a false prophet and all this. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, dude, I don't know. I listen, and like, are you the type of Christian that wants to suffer because we have to suffer for our sins, or are you just trying to get by every day and just hope, you want a positive message? So when it comes to Christianity, I think there's a lot of,
it is.
A lot of,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, Joel Osteen is going on to say that so this is what he says. He takes no money from tithes at all.
Okay.
All his wealth comes from his books and his touring, which he is. I remember when he came here, he sold out the Scope.
Yeah.
22,000 seat deep. Dang. And it wasn't an empty seat in the house.
Yeah.
And I think the tickets were like $70 or $75 a pop. So, tour, he's doing well with that. So if it's the truth, then you can't be mad at him for just being a visionary,
right?
Being a God-fearing pastor or evangelist, but also having vision and foresight to say, okay, how can I optimize this aspect of what I do?
Right.
Why talk to 20,000 people when I can talk to 20 million people? You know, type thing. So, you can't be mad at that.
Yeah. It's like the Tony Robbins effect. Like Tony Robbins is super wealthy, and that's what he does, self-help. He's like talking about first he was just talking about how to create better business and customer service, and then there was the whole, I think when RFK was talking about the what is it, TRT, the testosterone replacement stuff, he got jumped on that bandwagon, so he's now pushing that, and now he's like now onto AI. He's like, if you want to develop your future, you have to get more into AI. We're gonna do this free seminar. Come on down. We're gonna talk about AI. So he's like the next thing guy, and his programs are very costly to get into. We tried to do it once, and I was like, but if people find benefit and they feel better and they come out the other side better, like as far as Tony Robbins goes, like Derek Huff and Julianne Hough were products of those Unleash the Power Within stuff. And look at Derek Huff. He's like the most famous. He was a dancer. He was 18 years old and the junior Latin American champion. Now he's like a global sensation. So he gives a lot of credit to Tony Robbins. So it's interesting.
I mean, I agree 100%. I think that's what it comes down to. Even if you go to church or you listen to these TV evangelists and you do it and it's just like a reset button for you, you feel good about it, you feel your mood is in an uptick, and that's good enough. I
wish that we as dancers and as fitness professionals could reap those kinds of numbers, but because that's our whole lifestyle. Like that's what we do, is we try to help people, feel better about themselves, develop confidence, develop social skills, develop all these things that really in society we now need, especially with social media and AI now coming out. Like it's just, where's it going to go from here? And we still need that human connection. Especially with what you do, like health and wellness is like and you now are doing like a lot of self-defense stuff for women and empowering a lot of women. So that's all very worthy and, great causes. So
I think it all comes down to fanfare about this stuff. You know, it's like people want to feel a sense of exclusivity. Like I am the person that is doing this thing. And if everyone has access to it, it's not cool anymore type thing. And I think that's kind of the world that we live in. Like I was talking to my daughter the other day, actually, and she is kind of picking up and she teaches some women's self-defense classes. And she said, Dad, should I charge for a self-defense class? I was like, yeah, definitely. The reason for that is because from what I've seen and from my experience, people devalue things that you don't put your value on. Right. So you say, I'm doing this free workshop. It's something that women need to know. And people acknowledge that it's knowledge that we need, but they're going to be more prone to come if there's some sort of price tag, even if it's $5 or $10.
Right.
Because they're like, well, if they're doing it for free, it can't be that good.
Right.
That's kind of the mentality that, the world that we live in today. So
yeah. I also think that if somebody purchases something or puts a dollar value to it, there's a larger level of commitment to it. There's more, like for instance, dance lessons. Like you could go to the rec center and take them for like $5. And granted, you're not going to get the greatest of quality, but also it's a very, it's just casual, whatever. If I miss it, it's fine. But if I invest a little bit more money, then you're going to find more value. You're going to listen. You're going to pay more attention. You're going to get better results.
Right.
So that's a big
100%.
thing.
Yeah. So,
but you came across to change modes. That was a total side tangent. So Antoine just introduced to me Slate Cars.
Yes.
Let me throw it up here. So
if you haven't heard about this company, it's Slate. It got popular because Elon Musk kind of blew it up. He's an investor, and it's basically like 4 basic templates. You get a truck, you get an SUV, you get a fastback, and an open air. So you can basically, and it's only 20 grand.
That's the craziest thing.
It's fully electric. You can change the paint or the wrap. I think it's a wrap on it. Change the wheels, change the tires, change, all of the cosmetic features on the vehicle. But those are all a la carte. So you pay for those separately. You get the car as the running car. You can, throw it on the road and drive it. That basically is what you get right there. And then from there, you can go and customize it at an a la carte price. So, and I don't know how much these add-ons are. It could be a ridiculous amount. It's like, hey, we're going to give you the car for $20,000. So the add-ons are going to be more, pricey. Or it can be pretty minimal where you can get out the door with a pretty cool looking car for 25 grand, you know? So, it's interesting.
Yeah.
And I think that's like, it's basically a full grown RC car, basically, dude.
Like you were saying, like, what is the power actually going to be? Is it going to be?
Yeah, change the bumper. That's actually really cool when you think about the concept, though.
Sure. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Would you buy one?
No.
You went?
No, I already got my RC car. I got my Jeep Gladiator. I could. That's highly customizable and very personalized. It's just, even though they've, it's funny. It's like the media. So there's a headline that says, Stellantis, I think, owns it, stops production on Jeep Gladiator. They're done with Jeep Gladiators. That's the headline. It's something to that effect. And I read the article and it's like, they paused on production for 1 week. And I'm like,
clickbait. Clickbaity bullshit.
It's like, what the? But it's crazy.
Yeah. I'm Mopar, no car. I'm still riding that. But I did actually just, I had a moment of weakness and I test drove a Yukon Denali. And it was very, very cool car, very cool SUV. I guess there's some sort of recall on the 6.2 liter V8 motors. There's like a rod that's crooked in the motor or something, and it causes it to burn oil at a very accelerated rate.
Okay.
And people are blowing their engines because they're not realizing that there's no oil in the engine. So evidently it's not an issue with the 5.3 liter V8s, but the 6.2s you want to be, which is the one that comes in the Denali.
Yeah.
So, but they're expensive. I think the Yukon Denali AT4 is like $110,000.
Dude, the price in cars is just getting out of hand, man.
Yeah, it's not.
Pricing everything is just getting out of hand.
Well, that's what now you have companies like the Slate company.
Yeah.
If you're one of those people that don't care, I'm not gonna say don't care, but don't care about like driving this. Like I care about driving a specific car, having a specific feeling when I get into my vehicle.
Yep.
Right. If you're not one of those people who care that much, then 20 grand.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. We have a close friend that she's very well off and she drives like an old beat up Dodge and it just doesn't matter to her. That's not where, that's not her identity or whatever. like for me, a Jeep represents my lifestyle. Like it's like I like the fact I can, because I sold the motorcycle, I was like, I still like that open road feel, so I can take everything apart. So, but I did see a few now here in Virginia Beach. The new Hummers, the electric Hummer.
Oh yeah,
looks pretty cool.
That was cool.
Yeah,
very cool. Yeah, we had the crab walk feature. Yeah. How much are those?
A lot.
I think base model gotta be at least like 60 grand.
Yeah. Oh, I think they're more than that.
Yeah. Well, base model.
Base model.
That's like they give you the car and maybe throw a slab of paint on it.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, they are very, very cool cars. Like people remember Hummers just got a bad rap.
Oh yeah.
Remember we were going through this like the whole fuel economy thing.
Oh yeah. People
like fuck you, you're driving a Hummer, you piece of shit.
Yeah, dude, seriously.
Yeah,
like,
people were up in arms about it.
And I was like years ago, we're still living in Rochester, New York, and we need trucks and off like 4-wheel drive. It snows like 6 months out of the year, and it's so I got an H3. Which is just a Colorado with just a Hummer looking, like,
basically.
And we're at Wegmans, and I'm in the parking lot, and I'm about to like go out after shopping. It's late at night, and I see like just this like nastiness on my door handle. So some dude like spit and like hawked a loogie, whatever, on it, and I'm just like, what the hell? Like, thankfully he didn't spit on it or scratch it up. So I go back in Wegmans. I'm like, pull up that security camera. I want to see what punk ass did this. And they pull it up, and sure enough, it was a dude that you would think would do that. And I'm just like, and that's the same time when people were like mad about like, you know what you're doing to the environment with this thing. I was like, dude, it's a freaking Chevy Colorado. Like it's not.
Yeah, man, shut the fuck up, man. Seriously, if that's what you got to worry about, really, in like in your own world, like let's keep your carbon footprint down. Yeah, it's cool. That's fine.
Yeah.
Man, and I think when it comes to like that, you're so virtuous that you don't mind fucking somebody else shit up. It's just a weird concept. Yeah. And so,
man. It's like everyone keying up Teslas now, and like,
remember they spray painted Leonardo DiCaprio's. So this is around the time where all that was going on, and it was a time where Leonardo DiCaprio would only drive a Prius.
Oh my God.
And all the people on the other side like, fuck, I want to drive a Chevy, drive what I want. Somebody like spray painted his Prius. It's like, how you gonna go and assault a Prius?
Man.
Or they might have just did it because it was DiCaprio. It's like, this motherfucker, he can afford whatever he wants. He's driving a Prius. He's making fun of us.
Do you remember the movie The Other Guys?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Dirty Mike and the boys are having a party in the Prius. Oh my God,
dude, that movie was hilarious.
It's so good. It's so good.
With Sam Jackson and Rock, he's like, you want to go for it? He's like, yeah. He just jumps out the fucking window and lands on
Aim for the bushes. Oh my God. That's like the opening scene. We're just like, whoa, this is where this movie's gonna go. Okay. Oh God. Too funny. Yeah. Cool.
Robert Downey Jr. is getting a little bit of heat, and this is old heat. People are again up in arms about when he did blackface in Tropic Thunder.
Oh, he's getting heat on that?
He's getting a little bit of heat on it. This stuff always comes back around in some capacity.
Yeah.
Especially with the social media. And there are it's probably a very small group of people but large enough to make some noise. Upset that honestly I don't even call it blackface, but I guess I don't know. In the movie, and people are upset. I was like, and I actually commented on the post. I was like, this movie is fucking great. There's not one black person that I can think of that's offended by this fucking movie.
Yeah, I was wondering that. Like, so who do you think is getting mad about it?
Somebody who wants to make everybody else mad.
Yeah, okay. So,
probably the person who posted or started it is probably not even upset about it.
Yeah.
It's just, here's something I can
stir something
get some people
yeah.
riled up with.
Follow me.
Yeah, right? Yeah. It's weird, man.
It's crazy. I mean, that his whole character in that whole entire movie, from the opening credit, or the opening, not credits, the opening previews of the other movies.
Yeah.
I mean,
what was it? Devil's Playground or Devil's Row or something like him and Tobey Maguire.
Oh God, it's so good. And then Tom Cruise popping in as what was his character's name?
Les Grossman.
Les Grossman.
Les Grossman.
Jeez. God, if you haven't seen that movie yet, man, do yourself a favor and go see it.
That movie is so good.
So good.
Diet Coke. Yeah. That movie, yeah, you got to watch that. I feel like if you like comedy, you'll love that movie because it has like nothing but heavy hitters in it. Ben Stiller, Robert Downey Jr., Tom Cruise, Jack Black, Matthew McConaughey. Yeah. I mean, it's just a bunch of killers in that movie. Yeah. It's a good one.
When it comes to politically incorrect comedy, Matt Rife is making a comeback. And I watch some of his stuff when he works off the audience. Like he goes after everybody.
Yeah.
And so I'm wondering why hasn't he canceled yet? Like, and I'm sure it'll eventually happen.
Yeah, it'll happen.
Like,
yeah.
But like he's selling out, like he's got a Netflix special coming out. And the commercial for that or the teaser for that was hilarious. And it's just funny. I was just like, he's a white guy, white young guy that's making fun of everything.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. And no one's bothered yet.
I wonder, I feel like comedians kind of get a pass because they're, and I think Dave Chappelle actually helped like build this culture where comedians can say basically anything. And if it's on stage and put in a bit, it is okay.
It's okay, yeah.
You know, and I think he's kind of like piggybacking off that a little bit. I like, if you get offended, don't go to a comedy show.
Don't go to a comedy show, yeah.
Like, I hate when I see people go to comedy shows and sit in the front row and then the comedian starts to fuck with them and they start to get upset. It's like,
yeah.
Especially if you look weird.
Yeah.
Dude, if you look weird or your girl looks weird, dude, just sit in the back. Don't.
Have you ever done stand-up? I feel like you'd be good at it.
Nah, dude. I don't think I got that much confidence.
What?
And I know I look weird too, dude. I get fried from the audience.
Oh, man.
I have a friend, Sherry Dixon, who just picked it up and she's killing it. So,
okay.
I just love to see it,
dude. Some of the one-liners you come out like our last episode that we did. That was so good.
The dwarf thing.
Oh my God, totally took me off guard. I was like, all right, it's good.
Well, I'll keep it coming.
But we can't laugh at things, man. It's like we can't take life too seriously. It's gotta.
You can't. In the world that we live in, dude, it's like there's no like 100% good or bad anymore. Like I don't care if you're right, if you're left. There are pros and cons from being just about anything in this world. Yeah. Right. And so just don't take yourself too seriously, man. Just try to enjoy life. Yeah. There's plenty of shit out there that's going to beat you down.
Oh, yeah.
Don't do it to yourself.
Yeah. Sounds like a quote in a Rocky movie right now. Life.
Rocky.
You got to keep getting up.
Dude.
Doesn't matter how many punches you take or how many times you fall, just many times you get up, whatever that quote is. It's awesome.
He just did an interview saying how he stayed in such great shape at 78 years old.
Oh, yeah?
And he says he obviously works out every day, but he boxes every Friday. He said chin-ups and boxing.
Wow.
He said every Friday he does 6 sets of chin-ups and he boxes every Friday. And that's the thing that kind of like puts him over the top from a health standpoint. Now, let's be real. This cat has been taking
for sure
all the shit since like the 70s.
Yeah. Dude, we just did on Tuesday, we did a half Murph. So at Iron Asylum, they do Murph's Challenge, which is I don't remember his full name, but Murphy was like one of the team guys that got killed on Operation Red Wing, I think it was.
Yeah.
And it's the full Murph Challenge is you wear a 20-pound vest, you do a 1 mile run, then you do
it's like some pull-ups,
100 pull-ups,
like
200 push-ups, 300 squats, and then a mile run.
Fuck that. Just fuck that. There's no way. I used to do it. I mean, I've done Murph a couple times, and in my lot younger days when we owned Hyper Beach CrossFit.
Okay. Oh yeah.
No way. No way. That's a fucking young man's game.
Yeah, it's a young man's game.
Yeah, it's like, all right.
We did it without the plate carrier and with bands for the help the pull-ups. And I was like, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, dude. I'm telling you, CrossFit is an orthopedist's dream.
Oh yeah.
Shoulder
injuries and everything.
Like, yeah, dude. It's like a lot of that stuff, like with the and I've a good amount of CrossFitters will actually agree with this. That's why a lot of CrossFitters, especially high level CrossFitters, fire breathers, I think is what they call them, they do Olympic lifting separate from the Olympic lifting that's in these CrossFit WODs or challenges. Mm-hmm. The reason for that is because those movements weren't meant to do quickly and like in a repetitious way. Like power cleans, hang cleans, shit like that, snatches. That shit wasn't meant to be done for reps. Try to get 100 reps in 35 seconds. You know, it wasn't meant for that. And so when these, CrossFit athletes inevitably hurt themselves, orthopedists like, bring it in, dude, I got you.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, CrossFit workouts are designed for CrossFit or potential CrossFit Games athletes. And that is the 1%. The 1% of people who do CrossFit are going to be like Games athletes. The rest of them are just like people like you and me who just want to use it to get fit.
Yeah.
And it's just a matter of time before you hurt yourself.
Yeah.
In some way.
Yep. Do you follow any of the power lifters? I can't remember his name. Damn it. He's so funny. Anyway, his Instagram page is so funny. He's like this big dude. He's strongman, a strongman guy. Yeah. And he makes fun of like all the female fitness that do all the selfie stuff. It's so funny. But when it comes to like a strongman competition, like I would imagine the injury rate is like super high.
Sure.
So on TV, on the TV in the gym, they were playing the strongman challenge. And it was like straight up out of Conan, and Arnold was there. Like they're pushing the thing at the beginning of the Conan when he's just like walking. They're lifting these logs. I'm just like, oh my God, how do you train for something like that? That's crazy.
Yeah, there's no way. Did you see the old, it used to be on ESPN, the Weider Strongman competition that used to come on ESPN?
Yeah.
And back in the 80s, they had a refrigerator carry.
Oh, that's right.
And you had a racket like a back squat, and you got to run these two refrigerators, and this dude like broke his femur while in mid stride carrying two fucking refrigerators. Man. It's like, come on, seriously, you deserve that. I mean, come on, dude.
Wow.
Yeah, it's so, and some of that, and don't get me wrong, like some of those feats, these dudes are like a Brian Shaw, Eddie Hall. Those guys are massive and they're strong as shit.
Yeah.
But I mean, the shelf life on somebody like that, I mean, 5 years.
Yeah.
Maybe if you're lucky. That's why Braun Strowman from the WWE, that's how he got into the WWE. That was his ambition.
Oh, okay.
But he never got to the point to where he was the strongest guys, and he just had to make a decision. It's like, am I going to keep trying to do this, or I'm going to actually make some money?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, Eddie Hall seems to be a pretty funny dude too. Like
Eddie Hall's popular.
Yeah, he's
one of the most popular ones because he does a bunch of these like celebrity boxing matches and stuff like that. So, he kind of uses the popularity that he got from Strongman to do other things.
Because the guy that played the Mountain in Game of Thrones, he's a strongman too.
He is too. He got into boxing for a while.
Ooh.
I actually tried to call him out. Do a boxing match with him. He didn't bite.
No.
But
I feel like you'd destroy him.
Yeah, I fucked him up. He was just big and slow.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, he had a couple of like, televised fights, made some good money doing it. But
do you remember seeing Butterbean?
Butterbean. Oh, he used to murk these fools. Dude, it was almost unfair because he had just had so much power. And Butterbean, if you don't know who Butterbean is, he was popular in the 80s and 90s. He was just like big fat, he had no muscle, but he would floor anybody that stepped in the ring with him, dude. He just had so much power, and he was a great boxer.
Yeah.
He was just a great boxer, and he used to murk these fools.
Man, that's what MMA was like. I don't know what that was. Was that
That's boxing.
That's boxing.
That's straight boxing.
Okay.
Yeah, he. I think he tried to do an MMA fight one time. I think somebody like took him down and just beat the shit out of him. Yeah, that's like that is the great equalizer right there. The ability to take somebody down and like keep them on the ground.
Yeah,
because like. Someone who, if you're in a street fight, for example, and you end up fighting, like it's like, we gonna throw hands, blah, blah, blah. This is just a fight. Two guys who are, or one guy's just untrained. If that other guy's a wrestler, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
Like, you can be as good as a puncher if you will, as a boxer you want to be. Once he gets his hands on you, it's a wrap, dude. Yeah. And just drag you down to the ground and just make you feel like shit because you can't get up.
Yeah.
So yeah. That's. I mean, I told my kids like jujitsu, wrestling, those two things. If you're a great fighter, boxer, good with striker. I'm gonna say striker with your hands. If someone you're fighting has an opportunity to get their hands on you and drag you to the ground, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
It's nothing you can do.
Yeah. Keyshawn Davis, man, he's coming back to the scope.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
it's pretty soon too, right?
I think
Isn't it next month, June? Something?
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh, but man, he's holding a couple belts now, right? Or is it just one? I think it's going after a unified belt right now.
Who's he fighting? Do you know?
I forgot. I just saw it come through. One of my students brought it up, and it's funny how when it comes to the fight game, how many fans they have. And like how diverse the fan base is.
Oh yeah, everyone loves fighting. Everyone loves fighting, dude.
And especially when it comes to boxing, like I don't know if boxing's coming back. Isn't Dana thinking about taking boxing on as well?
TKO has partnered with that Saudi events thing. So they're going to start putting on their own boxing matches, which is smart because this whatever the company is, the Saudi something. They've been putting on these boxing matches for a couple of years now and losing money. Yeah. Like just because there's no infrastructure. The prince of wherever just love to see boxing. And he's like, hey, we got the money. We don't care. We don't care about TV deals. We don't care about how much money we make. We just love boxing. So now there's some sort of infrastructure. So now they can make it. Now they can kind of be competitive with the companies like Showtime Boxing and DAZN and stuff like that. Because Canelo fought this past weekend in a snooze fest. The night before that, Ryan Garcia got knocked out by Rolly.
Did he win the fight though, Garcia?
No, he lost.
He did lose. Okay,
yeah, he lost.
I just thought for some reason I know he got knocked down, but I don't remember who actually won.
Yeah, and Rolly is a good fighter, but when you think about skill for skill, he shouldn't be on the same tier as a Ryan Garcia. Ryan is fast. He has punching power. He's young. Yeah. And Rolly just went over there and just basically, you could just tell he didn't want to be there. Yeah. It's something. And we, have heard all the mental health issues that Ryan is having and has been having for a few years now. And it was just a matter of time till some of that crossed over into the ring. Yeah. Like when he fought Tank, they were like, oh shit. Even though, he didn't win the fight, it's like, oh shit. Yeah. Ryan is a monster. Yeah. And like Rolly beat him up. So
there's so I want to bring up one point or like ask you about something. So on social media right now or Instagram, as you all may know, I love guitars and I play guitar and I follow a bunch of guitar channels. And there's this guy, just forgot his name, oh shoot. Well, anyway, he's got a huge guitar channel and millions of followers, and Gretsch Guitars has sponsored him. These string companies have sponsored him. He gets hired to do these clinics. So one dude that has a YouTube channel recorded him at the NAMM show, which is like a big, huge music where all the new guitar people come in and they sell all their gear, so amps, guitars, all that stuff. Anyway, so he was sponsoring Gretsch. He was playing the Gretsch guitars, and it was bad.
It was bad?
It was bad. It was bad. So this guy called him out, and upon more research, come to find out, so this guy, he sells tablature, he sells lessons, he's making a ton of money on this stuff. Ends up, he's ripping off all these other guitar players, stealing all their content, plus taking the tablature that these guys are selling and ripping it off, putting his name on it, and selling tablature for that.
What?
So this dude has been called out with the entire guitar community, and he's lost his sponsorship from Gretsch Guitars. Anderton's had an interview with him, which is a huge guitar shop in England, pulled their video down. Rick Beato, who's like one of the biggest YouTubers, the music YouTubers, pulled the video. They're all destroying him. So now the guitar community is like, what about his mental health? They're like, now they're coming back, and they're like,
oh man,
they're trying to show him some grace now. Be like, you stole all our stuff, but we feel bad for you now. I'm like, I don't know. Right?
I mean, he got it probably going through it right now because you get to the point where you're like, we know about this.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
No, we ain't gonna say no names.
Yep.
YouTube. But when you get to the point to where you were able to monetize this thing, and now that all goes away.
Yeah. Like that.
Yeah.
Like that, and people are suing them, and it's crazy. But I don't know, social media, man, it's dangerous.
It is.
It's a dangerous place to be if that's all you do, that's all you have.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah. You get like for the influencers, or not so much the influencers, but the social media marketing managers out there who actually take their clients and turn them into these large, like. Kudos to you, man, because it's a job.
Yeah, it's a job.
There's one in the area, Mix and Shine.
Oh, okay.
And Rachel Brown is the owner of that company, and she kills it. She's one of those people, she can take basically anybody and make them an influencer.
Wow. Like
millions of followers type thing.
Yeah.
And it's actually pretty cool to see. She's expensive. But no, it's like, if you have the money for that, if you know your business is the success of your business pivots on that, then you're gonna spend the money. Yeah. And you're gonna make it back 20-fold, you know, type thing. So
yeah. Wild. Man. All right, well, it's about that time.
It's about that time. Yeah. Please subscribe. Little click for you, big click for us. You know the drill, the whole spiel.
Yep.
Man, what you got coming up? Houston, Austin, San Antonio.
San Antonio. So next week, I'll be actually in Minneapolis. I know we need to talk about that, but I'll be in Minneapolis next week coaching in the Twin Cities. I think that's what they call it, right? In Minneapolis. Yeah. I'll be coaching there for a week, and then the week after that, I go to San Antonio, and I'll be trying to live stream the Arthur Murray Country Western Championships in San Antonio, and then the following week we'll be in Boston for the Area 1 Dancerama, and I'm going to try to live stream that as well. So if you're into ballroom dancing and you're part of the Arthur Murray organization now, and if you're not part of the Arthur Murray organization, you now have an opportunity to see the professional competitions via Life as a Dance YouTube page. So go visit that page, check it out. It's Wendy and I, my wife and I, kind of just once in a while we get on there and talk about how ballroom dancing affects our lives and how it can affect your life. But now you can see the professional competitions there. So yeah, what do you got going on?
Does Arthur Murray have country line dance competition?
No.
Okay.
No, we don't do line dancing.
Yeah, okay. I don't blame you. I'm just curious. It's my birthday.
Yeah.
Birthday weekend. Yeah. Tomorrow's my birthday. Today's Thursday. So you'll be seeing this next week. So it doesn't not gonna matter. But Friday, May 9th, your boy's birthday. Yep. I'm wilding out.
Yeah.
I'm going crazy. Now I'm one of those people.
But it's gonna go see a movie and take a nap.
I know, right? Yeah. I'm one of those people, like, when the people around me, I never ask for gifts. I don't. It was indifferent. But if you're like, I'm going to get you a gift, don't give me no bullshit. For real, dude. Like, so this year, there's a pair of G4 golf shoes, some Barstool golf shoes that I wanted.
Okay.
And I was like, here, this is what I want. Just get these. They're like $250.
Okay.
And this is between my kids, my wife, my parents. So everybody put $40 in, boom, you're good. I don't need anything.
Yeah.
Just like healthy, happy.
Yeah.
Love my family. Everybody's healthy. So that's cool with me.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna get me something, get me what I want.
Yeah.
Don't get me. I remember one year, I got some. My mom is the worst. My mom is the worst gig because she gets you what she wants to get you.
Yeah, as moms do.
It's cool, but it's like V-neck T-shirt. It's like pajamas. Like I don't wear fucking pajamas. It'll be like a whole pajama suit, like long sleeves. Yeah. Dude, I'm hot as shit at night. I ain't sleeping in that.
She still remembers you as that little boy.
Yeah. We and growing up, we never wore pajamas. We were underwear and that's it. Household
underoos.
That was it. No wife beater, no nothing. Just underwear. Go to bed. Get your ass to sleep. I've always ran hot. It was like just like turn the AC on. I'm good. Yeah. But yeah, that's it. I'm just chilling for my birthday.
Cool.
Oh man.
Good.
Thank you very much for tuning in for another edition. Again, please like and subscribe and stay tuned for the content. Anything you want to see, go in the comments.
That's right.
And if it's cool, we'll cover it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Man, on behalf of my homeboy, Taras and myself, we say peace.
Peace.